This is absolute lunacy. The latest NFL power rankings are out, and I am going to crash out. It just the media bias from these alleged, I'm going to switch back here to this graphic so we can go with full air quotes, legacy media. These guys are idiots. We got to talk about where they put the Seahawks. And I guess as an idiot on the internet, it takes one to know one. So we're going to talk about all that. What's going on, everybody? Christian Pedersen back with another episode of Seahawks Digest, the show that really appreciates all of you putting up with the fact that I am doing daily content when there is very little to talk about during this part of the off season. So I'm stretching some 2-minute videos into some 8-minute videos, and it is greatly appreciated for all of you that have stuck with it. Let's talk about this doozy right here. There's a new number one. We won the Super Bowl, and yet we are not the number one team in the NFL. We have our quarterback are coming back. We have our receivers coming back. We have most of our running backs coming back. We have our defense. I've talked a ton about all these Nick Eamon-Worry types who are going to be used as Wolverine-esque switchblades on defense, and yet we can't be the number one team. Just absolutely, I don't understand it. Maybe this is more group therapy, so I can just vent about, like, we're so good. How do we not be slated as good? Before we get to all of that, I got to say a real quick thank you to today's sponsor for this video, and that is Prize Picks, America's #1 sports pick app. And right now they want to hook up Digest listeners, code DIGEST, DIGEST, when you are signing up. They'll give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 in lineups. Okay, drum roll, please. Who do you think is the number one team, according to these guys? It's not us. It is the mother bleeping Rams, who we beat. The Rams didn't win the Super Bowl. They try to, the USA Today twists themselves into a bleeping pretzel, saying that we were that they were only 2 or 3 plays away from the Super Bowl. Okay, bro, and Eddie George was only 2 inches away from winning the Super Bowl, but he didn't. So what are we talking about here? They go on saying that they just a new lead guitarist and like trying to make these dumb metaphors that are so flowery, and that's what I'm saying. Get out of here with all this nonsense. They talk about Matt Stafford being the league's best frontman. Whatever, brother. Get your veneers and your 42-year-old ass out of here. The only thing that I can see here is that they added Myles Garrett, which sure, that makes them good, but that doesn't make them like end of that analysis. Beginning of where did you think that the Seahawks are? Thankfully, they're number 2, which is great, but they even start that with you hate to disrespect the Kings with anything less than a number 1 spot, but like the fact that Clint Kubiak left means that there's going to be some drop off. And then what, like the Seattle won't sneak up on anyone this year. Just saying that we're not going to catch people off guard with how good we are. And the fact that we got a new OC, that's not a fall off. That's just being good enough to have called our shot. That's like, that's where I'm at crash out point, because they very clearly, if you look at who they ranked immediately after that, the Niners, like this is not an East Coast bias thing. They're very clearly big on our division, and the amount of talent that is going to be there, I think it's very likely to say that whoever comes out of this is the Super Bowl favorite. So I guess thanks for keeping us in the mix, but what the hell? Like, I don't get the argument. I'm big on the aging thing. Talked about this a lot with the defense videos that we've done this offseason, where players, football's a brutal game on your body in a way that it is not with others, and everyone's chasing this elusive way to beat Father Time with the TB12 kind of mindset or whatever. Guys drop off. Matt Stafford is not going to be able to do this forever. The Rams didn't get any better other than one guy who we've already talked about on the Seahawks end. There's plans for dealing with Myles Garrett. And I get that you can't fully contain him and everything, but you can slow him down enough that the rest of the pieces that we have on this offense are great. Losing Kenneth Walker III, okay. I like what I've seen out of Ja'Jarian Price and George Holani. Sharps is coming back. Maybe not week 1, but he's coming back. JSN, Cooper Cupp, Rashid Shaheed with a bigger role this season. All of these are fantastic offensive pieces for an offensive coordinator who they're like, oh, he's never called plays. Like, that's going to be an issue. But he was with the Niners, who were the third. So, like, it's not like he was at freaking Sarah Mesa High School just calling some JV offense where it's like waggle right, waggle left. Like, what are we like? What are all these buttons, man? Fleury has gotten an excellent endorsement from Mike Macdonald. I trust the institutional strength of Macdonald and Schneider and everybody in the front office to have vetted the right guy, to brought in to handle these pieces. But also, I trust that if we get a couple of games in and the Brian Fleury experiment isn't going well, that Darnold and company are good enough to absorb some of those issues and be like, I'm not saying that this might be way out in the weeds, but I'm not. I can see no scenario where Sam Darnold's just like, oh, okay, third time we've called that play and it hasn't worked. Like, okay, I'm going to run it again. We're just going to keep bashing our head into it. Like, we've got guys who can take a bad situation and fix it and make it work. And the schedule is tough. Yeah, we're not going to sneak up on anybody, but NFL seasons are like snowflakes. There's no two of them that are identical. We don't have the same route. We don't have the same road. Great, fine. That means that we just also, though, have new opportunities. Other teams don't have the same road. Yes, we have some very daunting, hard schedule parts, but we don't know how the Patriots are going to look at a certain part of the season. We don't know how the Rams, when we're going to catch certain people, if they have their own injuries to deal with or their own issues. So I'm kind of like, just what are we doing here? We're the defending champs. We didn't get any worse. If anything, we only got better. They drafted really well. How the hell are we not the number 1 team in football right now? Just my thoughts. Curious about yours. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, all of those other buttons before we get out of here. We got to say thank you again to Prize Picks, the sponsor for today's video, and the number 1 sports pick app in all of America. Right now, they got deals for both new and returning users. For the new users, if you sign up, use the code DIGEST, DIGEST. Prize Picks will hook you up with $50 instantly when you play your first $5 in your lineup. Bunch of World Cup options right now, bunch of baseball. Never a dull moment on there. They also got great things for returning users. You can use Taco Tuesdays, all Tuesday, every Tuesday. Their board is serving up discounted projections, and then close out your week with Flex Fridays. Use the Flex Friday to boost your payouts by up to 40%. That's right. Code DIGEST, $50 instantly. They're here to hook it up. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Seahawks Digest. That's what I've got for you today. You're 8 minutes closer to the start of the season. Thanks for sticking around.